So guys, it's me, Taquito Man 64, and today we're gonna be talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. Again, this is the third time in a row. It's gonna be like this for probably a little bit longer. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about apparently something that's been going on for a while, is that Five Nights at Freddy's is dying. And the reason why I'm talking about this is I see a lot of other bigger YouTubers making videos on this, and I'm just gonna say, I don't think Fnaf is dying, and I'm gonna go over why, and I'm also gonna go over the reasons why people think Fnaf is dying. And yeah, before we actually get into the video, I just want to say one thing. Thank you guys for the 200 subscribers. That is genuinely insane. Look, I just want to say I can't believe we made it to 200 subscribers. My new goal is to hit 500 subscribers by next year. So yeah, if we can hit that, that would be genuinely insane. So let's just talk about the actual topic of the video. So now it's time to talk about the first couple of reasons for why people think FNAF is dying. Number one is Secret of the Mimic, which was the most recent FNAF game, and it got a VR version, which is apparently worse and looks uglier than the flat version. And I just want to say I've never played Secret of the Mimic because I have not had a chance to get a copy of the game for various reasons I'm not getting into. And I've seen a lot about it, but apparently the OG version of the game is actually pretty decent from what I've heard, but the VR version is like really bad and broken. And like, yeah, that sucks, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it really matters that much, because this is something that I think a lot of FNAF fans don't really understand. VR is fudging expensive. Most normal people are not going to be able to afford VR, and this is just an honest fact that people got to understand. VR is not cheap, especially in this climate. It is very hard to get your hands onto, so I don't think most people are going to be playing the VR port. And in any way, I am not defending Steel Wool for releasing a broken game, because I think that sucks and they should fix it, but knowing Steel Wool, they're probably never going to fudge and fix Secret of the Mimic VR. But hey, we just got to understand that just because Secret of the Mimic VR is broken doesn't mean the entire franchise is dying, because if that was true, Security Breach would have killed the franchise years ago, because that game was really fudging broken and unplayable, and somehow people still like the game, even though I don't understand that. But hey, I digress. And also, if broken games killed franchises, fudging Sonic would have been dead years ago because of Sonic 06, but it's still going strong. So a broken game does not kill a franchise. So yeah, I don't think that Secret of the Mimic VR being broken is the reason why FNAF is dying. And the other reason for why people think this is Five Nights at Freddy's being in a weird limbo state between canceled and non-canceled. And nobody knows if it actually is canceled or not, because on one hand, people are saying the game is canceled. On the other, people are saying absolutely nothing about the game being canceled or even in development. But in that case, if the game is still in development, is it canceled? It's just that games take a really long time to be developed, and this game is probably taking a little bit of time, and sometimes games will get delayed. That's just something we all gotta live with, and we gotta be a little more patient. And so yeah, and if it is canceled, yeah, that sucks, but I don't think it really matters too much. It's not like Five Nights at Freddy's is a mainline game, and also a lot of game franchises have canceled games, and it sucks. It sucks that you don't get to play this game, but it's just a sad reality that happens, and you just gotta kind of deal with it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything on that side. And then you have the very last reason, is that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie wasn't very good. And me personally, I actually like the FNAF 2 movie. I think it's a pretty good movie in my opinion, but I know a lot of people don't like it. And the movie being bad isn't enough to kill an entire franchise. If that was the case, Super Mario would have been dead a long time ago, because the original Mario movie was horrible. And it did not kill the Mario franchise. So yeah, just because the movie was a little bit bad doesn't mean the entire franchise is dying because of that. So those are pretty much some of the main reasons, and the next segment will be over the other reasons. So yeah. The next reason for why people think FNAF is dying is because of the FNAF Fanverse. If you don't know what the FNAF Fanverse is, it's basically where Scott Cawthon hired some fan game developers so they can actually make money off of their work, which is super cool, but it has had some issues. There has not been a lot released from the Fanverse. We've only got a couple of things, a demo for Joy of Creation and My Popcos. Does anyone know what My Popcos is? Probably not really.
Ain't no one paying $4.99 for My Popcos.
There were some things that we've almost gotten, like we got Five Nights at Flumpty's, but the creator, not too long after the game being released, was exposed to being a pedophile. So I got a game, did not last very long, and nobody really plays Flumpty anymore. Then there was Five Nights at Freddy's Plus, where the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's Plus got the game canceled because he was a internet troll with quotation marks, because he was just a loser who makes edgy jokes and thinks they're funny, but they're really not. And the game got canceled because the person was just kind of a trash hat. So that's why FNAF Plus got canceled. It sucks, but like it was kind of expected. If you act like a fool on the internet, you are going to get repercussions for your actions. And there are still stuff coming from the Fanverse, like Five Nights at Candy's 4. We just don't have too much news on the game. It's just taking some time, and all you need is just a little bit of patience until Candy 4 releases. Popcos is still in the works, which may release at some point, but I don't know when. We might be getting Joy of Creation soon. So yeah, the Fanverse is far from being dead. It's just that we don't get much news on there, and you just gotta be a little more patient and we'll start getting some of the stuff. But there has been a lot of controversy from it, and I'm just not gonna overlook that. There's kind of a justifiable reason for why you think FNAF is dying from that, but the stuff will come out at some point. We just gotta wait a little bit longer. So yeah. So guys, I'm sorry for the mic quality sounding a bit different. That's because this is an entirely new recording of the ending of this video, because as of the time of the recording, this is the FNAF 12th year anniversary, and everything was recorded before the anniversary. So yeah, and what they announced today was some pretty cool stuff. Like earlier, Scott Games posted image of a glitchy pizza, and if you analyze it, you get to see the American Dream Mall in New Jersey, teasing the fact that a real Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria is being made in the American Dream Mall, which is genuinely insane. A real life Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. All those videos from back in 2014 of people saying Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is real, they were right, but they were just too early. Maybe they had foresight, who knows? And I think that's honestly kind of cool, but there are people disappointed because, you know, it wasn't a new game. But I don't get it, because it's only been like one fudging year since the last game, and I don't know why you're complaining that there hasn't been anything new, because, you know, really has not been that long. But for those people, later on, Steel Wool posted a video of Vanny, and it was, do you recognize this character? And so it started glitching, and it was a new version of Vanny with a 2 in her eye, basically confirming that there may be a FNAF Security Breach 2, which is very interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of Security Breach, not at all. So a sequel to that game is kind of weird because it's not a very good game. But hey, I'm interested to see what's going to happen next. So yeah, people are now happy that there was some news of a new FNAF game. And then something even more insane that I just want to say is earlier, MegaCat Studio posted an image of a 2, and it had what seems like FNAF characters in the FNAF World art style, which means this could be FNAF World 2, which is genuinely insane. The fact that we are finally getting FNAF World 2 is insane 10 years later. That is just awesome. But this also leads into something that kind of makes me mad, is the fact that so many people were so impatient. There were so many people getting fudging mad over the fact that we haven't got a new FNAF game when it's been one fudging year. Secret of the Mimic came out last year, and people are acting like the entire franchise is dying because we haven't got a new game within the year or any news of it. Because yearly games are not a normal thing, and I want FNAF fans to know this. Yearly games are not really really that normal, and you wouldn't last a day in another fan base because Mario hasn't had a 3D game in 10 years, meaning by your logic, the franchise has been 6 feet under for like fudging years. Sonic hasn't got a new game in 4 years. And if you're a Beyond Good and Evil fan, you've been waiting 30 years for that second game. So I don't know why people are like, why is there no new game? It's only been a year. That's so much time. I need a new FNAF game now. It's so stupid to me, and I genuinely think you're delusional if you think you need a FNAF game that quickly. And this is also the reason why I'm starting to think that these games are probably coming out in such garbage states. It's because of everyone else. All of these people are so impatient to the point where I think it hurts the games, because the people who make these games know that they have like 5 months to work on these games before people are gonna start yelling and screaming and acting like it's the end of the world because they haven't got news of a new FNAF game, or they haven't got a new FNAF game. And so they just have to like get out something before these people start going insane and start saying the franchise is dead. Like this year, there was no FNAF drought. There was no franchise is dying. It's just you being impatient, and that's the problem. And so many people were like weirdly entitled and saying crud like, oh, Scott Cawthon is neglecting the core of the franchise, which is the video games. Even though it's been 1 fudging year, no one expects a new game every year, and that's just really weird. But even I can say it's genuinely fudging weird to get so mad over the fact they didn't get a new game in like the span of 12 months. That is insane. And so yeah, I think a lot of these people need to deal with the fact that they're entitled, they're impatient, and they're just kind of weird, because that's not a normal thing. Most video games take like 3 to 10 years to make, and that's if you're lucky. Sometimes games can take like 30 years to make. But like, yeah, that's all I really have to say about this, is that I just think a lot of people are just impatient, and that's the reason why people were saying the franchise is dying, because it was not dying. Like what I said, it wasn't dying. People were just impatient, and that's it. That's just the end of, that's just the moral of the story. That's it. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you want to see more like this, put in the comments below. Thanks for the support like always. This was your host, Taquito Man 64. See you all in the next one. Goodbye.